Hello Connective, welcome back. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Subscribe, comment, and like without smashing anything, and let's get into this energy. This is a collective reading for Virgo. Virgo, I've already got your underlying and overlying energies on the table. We got jumpers. We got two from the Akashic Tarot for the overlying energy and two for the underlying energy. And then for the the universal law deck, we have one overlying energy and two underlying energies. So now they're just fully not cooperating. They were so happy earlier when I was like shuffling them. They were just moving, and I've been having to pull cards and coax them. I'll give you candy if you come out of the deck. I don't know what's up, but I'm gonna just go for jumpers, see what's up. Because I need more cards to figure out this mix. Very strange story that's coming out here, and I don't want to take it anywhere that it's not trying to go. And I can't tell what we're supposed to be watching out for yet. Oh. Thank you. All right. I would like a couple more cards, please. A couple more cards for Virgo. At least two. If I don't get two, I'm going to pull three. I'm going to go through it one more time. Okay, let me just look at them real quick. All right. Okay. Well, that sort of sheds some light on things. Okay. It's what I thought originally, so we're just going to start talking about that, and then as we pull more cards, we'll see if anything else kind of comes through that's more specific about what I'm seeing here. But let's just go through the cards. So for the Akashic deck, for the overlying, we have the Lookout. We've talked about this card before, about how this ship is on fire, and he could look at it with his perception as it's sinking, or he could look at it with his perception as it's on fire. He's standing in the lookout. So I always make it a point to say that, because he's looking out. Like, I feel like he's looking out for his options, or he's looking out for help. Like, he's not running around the deck. He's not, throwing cannonballs. He's not screaming fire. He's, as far as I'm concerned, like assessing his options. But it's his perception that we're really talking about here. How is he looking at things? Is he looking at that he's on a sinking ship, or is he looking at it like it's just on fire? Again, if you keep a cool head, you can kind of deal with it a little better than if you're just panicking. I mean, do you really want to jump off that ship if it's still floating? Especially if you're in shark-infested waters. So then we have the War of the Roses, right? So this is the Six of Roses. This has come out before as a breakup. I'm not necessarily picking it up as a breakup or a war or fight right now. I'm picking this up as a standoff. So we'll find out. But this Law of Perfect Health card was the universal law overlying energy here. And it says, listen to the divine guidance within your body. So this card's come out recently before, and I kind of took it like as someone's not 100% taking care of himself. It could be because they're not taking care of themselves 100% because they're too busy taking care of others. It's a possibility. It's also a possibility that this person is like an empath, and they're not understanding how to necessarily take care of themselves properly as an empath, and it's causing a little bit of problems in what they're in. However, that is not the main problem of what they're in. It's just making it harder for them to cope with what they're in. Maybe they don't even realize they're an empath. So they don't realize necessarily what's happening or that they need to do anything different to protect their energy. And so this could be getting in the way. So it could be health, or it could simply be, you know, being an empath and having like emotions and things like affect your health. A lot of times when we are not understanding what's happening with us energetically, a lot of times we could have health problems associated with that, or things that appear to be health problems associated with that because our energy is not 100% right. Okay, so that's the overlying energy. So now for the underlying energy, we have the Three of Forces, which is the bird's nest. So this to me is like the home with children. Okay, so I was like trying to leave kids out of it, because usually I try to leave kids out of it, but that's definitely children. And then we have the Four of Scrolls, the karmic trench. So this is kind of like digging hole after hole after hole, trying to fix something, but not really doing anything, just doing a bunch of work, but not really like fixing anything. You're supposed to be planning something, but you're not planning something after the hole is dug. You're just kind of like moving to the next hole and digging another hole. And when you're not digging another hole, you're like digging the hole deeper. And this is not necessarily your energy. If this is you up here, the lookout and the War of the Roses, like the empath, because somebody else could be causing this in your family. Okay, so I was picking up romantic relationship just because of the kids, but technically it could just be a family and kids could be involved. You know, you wouldn't know it because this person keeps doing the same stupid crap over and over and over again. They might even be getting themselves in trouble over and over and over again in the same way. It's almost like being married to someone who keeps getting arrested and thrown into jail kind of thing, right? And you're kind of like, I swear to God, do it one more time. So it's sort of like that. Figure out what else is going on. And this is the law of tithing. Expand your consciousness and all things will be added. So I always say, when you're in situations like that where somebody's bringing you down, or somebody's catching your boat on fire, or somebody is declaring war, it's really hard to see anything else other than what you're in. This is telling you to think about it, to expand what you know, and then the better things will come. This is not your life. And then this is the law of destiny. It's written in the stars, what you wholeheartedly desire is your destiny. And one of these cards, it was this one. So when this card came out before for another sign, like I picked these two up kind of like as twins. And I don't know if you can see it because parts of this card are really light, but there's like a cheetah on either side, right? So again, coming off kind of like twins. This time I picked this up as a mother-daughter. Just clearly mother-daughter. Okay. And then your destiny. Oh, it's a little strange. It looks like she's walking on water. So again, this is kind of like what I'm talking about, like seeing, expanding, understanding that this is not what is, and that there can be more, and then believing it, and then thinking about it to the point where you can make it happen. It's already written. You just have to perceive it so that it can be. So these were the two that I pulled. Let's do that first. So we have the action card. I'm not even going to talk about that right now. We'll get back to it. And then we have the woman holding a heart. So a lot of times I say this could be a man, this could be a woman, this could be holding anything. Although I would have to say that it's probably a man or a woman holding a heart, because we also have the woman holding a coin. Again, could be a man, could be a woman, could be holding anything, but this tells me that love and money are involved. And then we have the garden and the gate. So this is like, she's standing by the gate, the abundance is outside, she has the key to the gate around her neck. She's contemplating, do I go out there or do I stay in here? Which one is it? She doesn't look, you know, she doesn't look particularly in a hurry to go, But it's more kind of like, is it the comfort or the unknown? Like, which one is it? Which one do I want to do, right? I got my basket and everything. I'm like ready to go. Which one is it going to be, right? So we have strategy. A lot of times when I say we want to get out of something, want to deal with somebody, we need to have a strategy. It's kind of like, you know, a good example is when people are always asking you for money and you don't know how to say no, so you keep giving them money. And you get to the point where you either don't have the money or you don't want to give them the money, you don't even care anymore. You say, okay, the next time this person calls, I'm just going to tell them no. And you don't even have to come in. Anytime you come up with an excuse, you give them ammo to argue with you, you just say no. No, the answer is no. Call someone else, right? The strategy in this situation. And we also have the broken heart. I'm going to put that over there next to the karmic trench. And then we have the magician in the mirror. Empaths. It's my empath card. The mirror is the empath. It's usually what gets us in trouble as empaths when we don't know we're empaths, because we have this ability to reflect like others back to them, and they hate that and they abuse us for it because they think that we're doing something sinister by showing them who they are, and sometimes we don't even know we're doing that because we're just being ourselves. So let's pull Alice. Alice will tell me what our perception is in this situation and it'll give me a better idea of what it already looks like. Usually it is what it looks like. It ends up being that no matter how much I resist the message. This War of the Roses is really telling me that someone is about to or has put their foot down on a situation. And they're not playing around. They're ready to go to war over this. This is really looking like a Scorpio reading, Virgo. Kind of yucky and funky. And somebody's sticking up for themselves, but their boat's on fire. May or may not be health suffering from it. We have a broken heart. This person's no dummy either. They're not stuck. They have other people to take care of, and they're not going to put up with it. Oh, wow. All right. I want 2 more cards. I don't get 2 more cards, I'm going to pull 3. I'm going to go through it one more time. This is a tense situation, Virgo. I'm sorry. Ooh. I try not to make faces when I do this. Okay. All right. Yes. All right. Well, we're going to talk real, Virgo. We're not going to candy coat this. All right. Virgo, prepare yourself for being reinforced on your own ideas about how to get out of this. All right. Let's go back to that. Okay. All right, let's go with what we saw first. All right, so this is no need to fear. Remember how powerful you are. No need to fear. And that kind of tells me that sometimes when we're trying to get out of stuff and we're afraid to leave because we don't know what we're going to be leaving into. Been in something a long time. We don't know, you know, the unknown is frightening enough. And then we're all mad here. Everyone is a little different, so definitely not picking this up as a little different. Usually I pick this up as like a gathering of people. So usually it is a family. And it'll be like one person in the family sees something that's not right, but nobody else sees it. So we're so uncomfortable that we're like, how come nobody else sees this? It's because sometimes in families, we're all kind of conditioned to do the same, like to deal with the same crap in the same way. And there's always this like one person who is like, yeah, what's happening? I don't know, but I'm not doing this, kind of thing. And that's what this card is telling me, that just because you're the only person that sees it does not mean that it is not real. Don't assume that because nobody else is on board with you in the situation and nobody else is reinforcing you or nobody else is acknowledging what you're going through, that you're not going through it. You know damn well you're going through it. You're not going to keep listening to them so that things can get worse, so that you can dig yourself out of a bigger hole while they're telling you it's not happening. It's not happening. You're not going to do that. Then we have never jam today. Promises that never come true, empty words, not telling, not living in the now. Actually, I was going to say not telling the truth. So we have that to look forward to. I can see why that would be annoying. I mean, it's one thing for someone to falter in a relationship. It's another thing for them to purposely mislead you, right? That's just something totally different. That makes every faltering move look like they're doing it on purpose. And sometimes they are. Sometimes it could just be that they're making bad decisions and then the outcome is what is. But sometimes they're doing it on purpose. It's hard to say when you're like, especially because of that situation that I said, about getting thrown in jail. You'd be like, well, they're not doing it on purpose. Nobody wants to be in jail. Some people do. They like get out and they go, well, I don't want to be out here. And then they go back in again. And I'm not saying necessarily that somebody who has a family might do that, but someone who has a family might do that. Sometimes when people are brought up in a certain way, they don't really know how to exist in society. They don't really know how to not get in trouble. And it's not because they don't know any better. It's because they're too busy wanting attention and they just do stuff and they don't care what happens. And they're dragging you along with them if you're in the same, I was going to say, boat as them. Or nest, however you want to put it, right? Trench. And then we have a moment's regret. Nostalgia, idealizing the past, fearing you've made a mistake. So for some of you, you've already left. You've left and you're kind of like, should I have done that? Should I have broken up this family? Should I have left this person? Should I have done that? I'm not going to say yes or no. That's for you to decide. But I will say that the energy that I can feel that's coming off of this reading is a little bit more than energy that I feel that comes off of difficult readings. This is something that is an extreme hardship for you emotionally. It's hard to watch. It's kind of like what I said again about like if somebody's doing something that's hurtful and then you feel like you have other people to protect, at some point you don't even care how you feel about it. You're ready to just move and protect these other people and not even expose them to what's going on here. You're okay absorbing the broken heart so that other people don't have to. All right, we'll get back to that. Okay, so now we have impossible things. Working through disbelief, imaginative leaps, fresh perspective. Okay, so I see this as believing in impossible things. This goes with never jam today. This is like, you're telling me this and I'm believing it and I'm moving forward on that and it's not even true and we're just kind of all standing around, right? We're just kind of like standing around. That's probably why this action card is here. If you haven't already taken action, and then again, you're going to need a plan. So it's not just pack your bags, kids, let's go. I wonder what will happen next. Ready to adventure, precipice of change, pause before action. Some of you haven't left yet. You're assessing the situation. You want to make the best move for yourself and the people around you, including the person that's causing the problem. You truly want to look at this in all sides and all aspects before you walk away. Before you leave, you want to make sure either A, that it's what you want, or B, that nobody's going to follow you, or that C, everybody's going to be okay. And then you have clock time. This is hurry up. This is divine timing, hurry up. Hurry up usually means that if you don't end the situation, it's going to end for you. If you don't leave, someone's going to leave, or you're going to be stuck in a situation where it's going to be harder to leave because that person will go to jail for good, and then you'll have to actually like deal with belongings before you can actually go, or something like that. Like it's going to be hairier, you know, it's going to be like, dude, before I just want to pack my kids' bags, and now I got to like sell all this stuff and rent the apartment out or whatever's going on kind of thing. Hurry up, or it's going to be more difficult. Again, you have destiny on the table. A lot of times with empaths, we get ourselves into these situations with people that don't deserve us, and then we stay in it too long, and then a lot of times that situation is ended for us. I mean, we can end it, you know, even if it takes a long time, we can end it, but it doesn't necessarily mean that somebody wasn't going to end it for us. It doesn't have to be that other person here. There could be a third party. Like a third party will come and end it. This person isn't making good decisions, and they're jeopardizing like the family and the home. Ew. I just got this notion that some of you may have had, this person may have set the house on fire. Like, I mean, it's easy to do. All you got to do is dump a smoldering cigarette in a trash can and walk away. Some people do stuff like that all the time on accident. You're like putting out fires and you're like running around. Not talking at all. I'm going to go through it one more time. All right, so we have New Moon in Aries, go for it. Again, another action card. We have Full Moon in Capricorn, take a reality check. We have Full Moon in Aries, cool your emotions. Don't let this person upset you. You can't think clearly when you're trying to make a strategy and you're trying to do something. Don't act out of anger, frustration, or depression, or whatever other lower vibration might be present, because later on you will be asking yourself, did I do the right thing? You acted on hot head, cooler heads prevail. You need to just make sure that when you're acting that you're doing it for everybody's highest good. You have first quarter moon in Aquarius, trust the universe. So there might be a Capricorn, an Aries, or an Aquarius involved with you. And then you have first quarter moon in Virgo, assess the situation. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Make sure that before you move, you assess the situation, you take a reality check, you cool your emotions, you trust the universe, and you go for it. The universe is pushing you. It's telling you to move. I mean, you could take it how you want. I don't really like to tell people what to do. I do understand that everything happens in its own good time. Even if I told you, oh my God, you got to get out of that burning house now, you know, you could take another 6 months, 6 years, and it might still happen, and the same, you know, outcome might be, and it might have just taken you that long to learn it. And again, it's the same lesson. You know, nobody's going to sit here and go, you should have moved 6 years ago. I mean, it's really hard to tell other people what they should be doing, especially when, you know, there's other people involved. And on top of that, you have this universal divine timing card. Like, it's like gonna happen anyway. I wonder what will happen next, kind of like comes off sometimes as like after you leave. I always say that you want to look ahead with wonder. Don't look behind at what was happening, because when you're trying to move forward, it clouds, it creates blocks, it doesn't show you what you're moving forward. This isn't showing me anything moving forward. This is all this situation right here. Maybe when we get into the extended, we start talking about, you know, the blind spot and things like that, it might give us some indication. But I think for this particular situation, it's more of what's happening and like who you are and like what's involved and what you mean. I mean, honestly, looking at this, like if I was just sitting here and you were talking to me and you were a friend of mine and you were telling me about this, like I wouldn't even really know what to say as advice to you, even though I've sort of been through this. Because it's up to you what you want to do, right? Again, we're at a standoff. We haven't fully 100% decided that we're going to do anything. We're kind of waiting to see what they're going to do, right? Which is fine. It's totally fine. Some of these situations is a marriage. Some of the situations is like family, you know? And a lot of people need to think twice before they walk away from family. But sometimes people get to the point where the family pulls something that they're not going to deal with anymore, and then it's done. And someone gets thrown out or someone leaves. People are trying to be better people. So this is always the kind of nonsense that we're just really going to, when we decide, okay, you know what, I'm going to be a better person, then we walk away from this for good. So I think people know too that if they like, if this is a marriage and they walk away from this marriage, they're not going back. They don't care. They don't care what they lose. They already know that when they leave, that their love and their money is going to be intact, because this person's either blowing their money and blowing their love, or they know. They just know. It wouldn't be so hard if I was by myself. Virgo, let's pull the blind spot and see what's going on with this. Yeah, I mean, I'm not getting any other storylines. So this is your reading. Meet us over at the extended. The link will be in the description. And if not, until we meet again.